Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at things that broke people, so yeah, let's just get right into the video. My fiance died the day after we got engaged. She died of meningitis. We spent an awesome day together while she was back in town from college, and I asked her that afternoon. Later, she said her legs were going numb and her back hurt. We went to the hospital because they had had a whole presentation about the symptoms of meningitis at her school. The doctor did some tests and said everything was negative, so they sent us home. We went to bed thinking everything would be fine. I woke up sometime around 2 a.m. and looked at her. She was covered in sweat and turning blue, so I picked her up and carried her to her car. We hauled ass back to the ER, but she stopped breathing before we got there and didn't regain consciousness again. At least I was holding her hand the whole way. The doctor did say they got her heart started a couple times, but all of her organs failed and her body completely shut down, so they had to call it. Later they asked if I wanted the ring, but they said they had to cut it off because her body had swollen so much. I told them to keep it because I wouldn't have been able to handle what it meant if it was just in one piece. To answer the other obvious question, I'm as alright as I get. Lately I've been thinking about our first days more than the last one. It's hard to tell if that makes it better or worse though. Relationships are hard. Anytime things get too good, there's a compulsion to pull away for self-preservation. There's no making it through of another round of that. Man, this is sad. The fact that it was just like the happiest day of their lives, and then they just lose the love of their life in one day. They couldn't even say goodbye to them properly. Dude, what is wrong with the doctors? I freaking hate stories like this where it would be like they go to the doctors and then the doctors are like, everything's fine, just go home and go to sleep, and then they die the next day. What? How come the doctors couldn't tell like what was up? I feel like this shouldn't have even happened in the first place. Because they did go to the doctors. They did everything that was right, but the doctors failed them. My house caught fire when I was sleeping and I saw my baby's crib go up in flames. He survived, but it screwed me up hard. Oh, thank gosh the kid is okay. Finding my twin brother dead. I can't even imagine how they would feel. Because that person would always be the closest person to them. Bonds as twins are just a different level. Hearing my mum ask if it was going to hurt to die. A few minutes later, she took a last breath, squeezed my hand in a slow release. Am I okay? Nah. A year and a half later, I'm still not. Dude, I don't think I'd be okay after this either. I think it's the fact that you just feel so hopeless that you can't do anything. When the police told me my fiance had been killed by a drunk driver immediately outside of our neighborhood, it didn't help that the police lost the driver in the hospital, letting him escape for about 30 hours. Wow. Freaking drunk drivers, man. If you're drunk, don't freaking drive. Call an Uber or something. What is wrong with you? You'd rather take someone's innocent life and maybe your own life too, just because you want to drive back home drunk? Are you freaking kidding me? Seeing someone whom you had complete faith in just switch on you and actively try to hurt you. Ooh. This just reminds me of like couples who are like always very happy online and everything, and then like something happens and you hear about one of them killing the other. And it's just like, what the heck? I was in therapy and was nervous about my child's upcoming birthday party because of serious anxiety issues. She told me to imagine the worst thing happening, and when the party is over, I would realize everything was okay. Day of birthday party, I received an out-of-state call from a coroner. My mum was found dead in her apartment. An investigation occurred, but it was determined she had a diabetic episode, hit her head on the kitchen counter, bled out and died. An hour later, my friend arrived, hysterically crying, indicating she just got a call her mum died. I was numb and broken. Life has never been the same since. That's so scary though, because you never know what your anxiety is trying to tell you. We never know why we're feeling this way. We never know why we're feeling scared. We're just like, why am I feeling like this? Everything is fine. Why am I feeling scared? Why am I feeling anxious? What's happening? When I was 13 and told my family that I'd been assaulted by a grown man that had taken me and two other underage friends of mine to a motel, my grandmother scowled at me with disgust as I sat there with my tail between my legs, feeling more shame than I'd ever felt. She told me I needed to learn how to keep my legs closed. I got a huge talking to from the adults and was punished and slut-shamed. I'm 31 now, and the thought of this still gives me pain in my chest. Dude, that's so sad. The fact that it's just never their fault. It's never your fault if something like this happens to you. Okay, you don't blame the freaking victim for them being sexually assaulted. Are you kidding me? How are you gonna blame the victim? Oh my god, this makes me mad. When I found my fiance dead on the ground after I came home from work, I was 22 at the time and it broke me in all ways. Nah, I don't think I can believe in love after this, honestly. 10 years ago, I was falsely arrested for a DUI. I was acquitted, but I lost everything in the process. It wasn't just the arrest, it was the whole system and procedures along the way that broke me. First, after the arrest, I was fired. I was a bar manager. I guess they thought of me as a liability, and when I asked why I was fired, they said we don't have to give you a reason. But I later found out that was the reason. Then I just watched my house foreclosed, my car stolen and destroyed, and everything else storage auction went away. By the time I was arraigned, it was all gone. I watched how the DA kept extending and prolonging the trial, saying he was still investigating while my court-appointed lawyer kept getting me to plead bargain. I had to show court every time, so all they were trying to do is to get me not to show. Nobody cared if I was innocent. They just want the conviction percent to stay high. Anyway, I was found not guilty in 10 minutes by a jury. It took 5 years of my life and no lawyer would call back when I wanted to sue. Cops are untouchable. I'm a whole different person since this occurred. I hate going anywhere. I don't trust anyone. I hate cops and courts and I don't trust them keeping us safe anymore. It's just a business, that's all. Cops pull in the sales and courts make sure pay. What? 5 years for this to get settled? Oh, dude. What a waste of time and the amount of stress they had to go through. Because for me personally, if I still have to do something, I get anxious. You know, the fact that this didn't end until 5 years later, that would have driven me crazy. Parasailing accident. Boat pulling us lost all electricity after a larger boat passed and it crashed hard over the wake. I was 800 foot in air, attached to a steel contraption with my 2 kids on either side of me, with a mass of ropes above us leading to the parachute or sail. It created enough drag that the impact wasn't as horrific as it could have been, but plummeting hundreds of feet through the air into the ocean and then realizing the metal contraption is pulling you and your kids under. My son couldn't get on his back, so his life vest wasn't working properly. My daughter was screaming because her arm was tangled in the rope. My son was 7, she was 9. Coast Guard was called in for rescue. It was 2020. I would never be the same person. I have flashbacks every day. My kids did survive. Dude, that is a freaking horrifying image. The fact that you can just be pulled like underwater and everything and you just can't do anything and you're like tangled, so you're trying to get untangled. Man, this is why adrenaline rushing things, I'm just never gonna do it. I just hate thinking about those because I'm always thinking about freak accidents, you know, like bungee jumping. I saw a video where the freaking rope snapped and I'm like, ain't no way am I ever going bungee jumping. No. I was going through the beginnings of a divorce, unbeknownst to me. It was March 2020 and my birthday just happened to be on the day they announced the initial COVID lockdown. I got home late from work and my wife at the time had done nothing for my birthday. I was in my 30s, didn't really celebrate anymore anyway, but no card, no gift, not even a mention of my birthday, and she'd eaten the last of my post-work meals. And of course everything is shut down and closed early, so I go off trying to find a gas station for a protein bar. That's so sad, dude. Not even a happy birthday? I'm not really that put out, it's par for the course. But I wake up early the next morning to take care of our 6-year-old. His autistic and emotional connection isn't always the highest on his priority list. But I'm in his room at 5 in the morning and he says, "Daddy, it was your birthday yesterday. How come you didn't get any presents?" I made something up and he asks, "Will you get any today?" I say, "Probably not, pal, but it's okay. Grown-ups don't really celebrate birthdays like kids do." He goes into his closet and gets all his construction paper and starts taping it together. Then he starts wrapping up his own toys and arranges them in a pile of presents. He says, "This is for you, Daddy," and he and I open up presents for my birthday. I don't remember a lot of my birthdays, but I remember this one. Yo, man, that's so freaking like wholesome of the kid. Yes, dads want people to wish them a happy birthday too. Dads want cakes too. Like, dude, it doesn't matter if you think they're ready, oh, they won't like it, just do it, alright? Just buy them a cake. Who hates cakes? I guess some people do, but like, you know, it's a thought that counts. So even if you buy them a cake and they don't like it, they'll still be happy that you thought of them. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!